Why does this picture elicit so many different emotions? There is a universally shared sense of creepy nostalgia whenever people see pictures or videos of the back rooms. They can be described as legendary internet horror stories with insane amounts of lore and world building centered around the same environment known as the back rooms. Like most things on the internet, the back rooms originated on 4chan with a single post of a dimly lit yellow space that looks oddly familiar yet creepy. If you're not careful and you no-clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the back rooms, where it's nothing but the stink of old, moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, and endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby,
because it sure as hell has heard you.
In any piece of horror content, the creator asks the audience to accept certain aspects or rules about the world unless it is based in realism, such as true crime. For example, Michael Myers never gets tired and will always catch you in Halloween. In a film like Hereditary, you have to familiarize yourself with demons for it to pay off, or you have to be open to the possibility of aliens coming down at any moment and taking over, depicted in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. The ability for a filmmaker or storyteller to introduce this acceptance process varies, but it truly is one of the most important parts of horror storytelling, especially for people new to the genre. After you consume a lot of horror content, you'll find yourself more forgiving of this, as you just want a good story, knowing that stretching reality is par for the course. In the back rooms, one must accept the concept of no clipping. This term comes from video games, where in some games you can no-clip or walk through solid environments because collision is disabled. Oftentimes, speedrunners will exploit this and pass through walls or fall through floors to get to a new zone faster and save time. Obviously, we live in a world governed by physics, so this is not possible. Or is it? And this is how you'll find yourself in the back rooms. According to a Backrooms survival guide, the back rooms is a large space outside of known reality. Time doesn't work the same, and there are dangerous entities lurking in the shadows. This guide is to help newcomers prepare physically and mentally for the back rooms. To get to the back rooms, you must no-clip out of reality. There isn't a for sure way to do this, as it seemingly happens at random times. There are some tips to increase your chances of getting there, though. One way is to find a potential entrance. There are common places where entrances can be found, such as walls that are a shade darker in abandoned buildings, doors that look like they shouldn't lead anywhere or are in a random place, any area that gives paranormal feelings, hair standing up, buzzing, electric currents, a sense of uneasiness, missing the last step on a flight of stairs and falling on your face. Only in very select flights of stairs does this work. And lastly, interrupting with a corrupted object, such as a glitched chair. If you find a place that looks like an entrance, make sure you're prepared, and then simply try to walk through the wall. There's about a 1 in 10,000 chance you'll get into the back rooms. Some people spend years trying to get in, and others get it on their first or second try. If you somehow get lucky or unlucky enough to reach the back rooms, you'll most likely find yourself in level 0, but there have been rare occurrences of others finding themselves in levels 1 or 2. If you happen to stumble upon the back rooms accidentally, the first thing you must do is accept your fate. Don't panic, because panicking causes you to lose your senses and make noise, which may attract unwanted visitors. Make a mental note of your surroundings and try to determine which level you've landed in. Then you must accept the back rooms as your new home, because you won't be returning to Earth ever again. You're going to want to stay here because attempting to escape will most likely lead to more dangerous levels. There are no exits from the back rooms, and it is difficult to even attempt to find one, as you must pass through many dangerous levels and unlikely occurrences. No one has ever officially made it out, and it is currently unknown if it ends. Now that you know the rules of the back rooms, let's explore what makes this the perfect horror story. All these deep dives, man, I'm a little worn out, which is why today's video is sponsored by Helix. Helix Sleep makes premium mattresses and bedding customized to fit your needs, conveniently shipped in a box right to your doorstep. Everybody's different, and Helix knows that. That's why they designed a sleep quiz that helps match your unique sleeping preferences to your body type to find the perfect mattress for you. Based on your different sleeping positions and preferred mattress firmness, they have something for everyone. If you happen to sleep with a partner or a pet, like Sebastian, then you guys can take the quiz together and find the best compromise for all of you. you. I prefer a nice medium mattress feel, and I tend to sleep on my side and stomach, and I'm a large human, so I was matched with the king-size Midnight Luxe. You guys know that I've been sleeping on my Helix for well over a year now, and since I moved, I had to upgrade from a queen to a king. That's how much I love my Helix mattress. I'm able to fall asleep in a matter of minutes, and I wake up feeling really rejuvenated. My old mattress does not even compare. My favorite part about Helix is that your mattress comes to you. Gone are the days of going to a mattress store and having to listen to a bunch of different sales pitches, and if you're strong like me, you can carry it up the stairs and set your new mattress up in a matter of 5 minutes. Helix Sleep also offers free shipping to anyone in the US, and they have a 100-night sleep trial. This gives you a little bit over 3 months to completely fall in love with your new mattress, and if you don't, they will come and pick it up for you, and you will get a full refund, no questions asked. Helix mattresses also come with a 10-year warranty, and they even have flexible payment plans and financing options. I love my Helix, and I think you would too. If you're in the need for a new bed, check out Helix. Go to helixsleep.com/Philion to get up to $200 off your new mattress, plus 2 free pillows. And thank you to Helix for sponsoring this video. There are many aspects that make the Backrooms absolutely terrifying. The Backrooms can be classified as analog horror, which is defined as a popular web subgenre of found footage, which incorporates old analog-styled media such as TV broadcasts, VHS tapes, and EAS or emergency alert systems, while including horror elements that evoke feelings of dread, fear, and uncanniness. These words are important as they're pretty specific with what emotions they convey. I think humans are scared of the idea of purgatory because we know the feeling of dread all too well. It's different than fear. For me, it describes a feeling of not wanting to be there at all costs. Uncanniness refers to something being slightly off, which elicits a strange reaction. For example, Slenderman is a humanoid, but he's just too damn slender. It's unsettling. The uncanny valley describes why we are so turned off by things or objects that are supposed to be familiar yet appear foreign. It's truly a faculty of our lizard brain and how we process potential threats. Horror stories often play with the uncanny valley, or the theory that altering a humanoid or familiar structure, even just a little bit, really messes with us. It's why AI and robots can be easily discerned from humans, but the gap is closing. With analog horror, you're dealing with dated and antiquated mediums of media. Old cameras, primitive lenses, and crackly audio. All of this adds a certain zest or flavor to the content. In a world where everyone has a 4K camera in their pocket, clean, high-quality media simply isn't it. It's too familiar. We have become so used to things looking polished and professional that when we're confronted with the opposite, it evokes an emotional response. The best cinematographers in the world are masters of dirtying the frame. Think of the frame as a canvas, and it's the cinematographer's job to fill it or make it dirty. Now, you can't just slap random stuff into the frame and expect it to look good. Everything has to have a purpose. A cinematographer or artist must be aware of how they use space or negative space to convey certain themes. All this to say that dirtiness is baked into analog horror from the start. The environment of the Backrooms is one of the best depictions of dread I've ever seen. Simply looking at it makes you not want to be there. In a way, it should remind you of a doctor's office with no windows, tucked away in some giant corporate building. At least, that's the vibe that I get. The Backrooms exist as a sandbox, a template for horror storytellers to let their imaginations run wild. Characteristics of the environment, such as no windows, monochromatic and drab yellow walls, repeating wallpaper, musty carpeting, and fluorescent lighting does a few things for the audience. Windows represent natural light, which allows for humans to have a connection to outside and keep track of time. This gets thrown out the window, literally in the Backrooms. Carpets, which are supposed to be warm and inviting, are described as damp. And there's nothing worse than stepping on a wet carpet. Yellow, a warm color that is often associated with happiness, is almost dizzying to look at. Fluorescent lighting is easily the most unflattering light source. Have you ever flicked a light switch on and been scared of your own reflection in the mirror? Odds are you are under fluorescent lighting. It's most known for widely being used in hospitals as it's cheap, effective, and mimics daylight, or 4500 to 6500 Kelvin. I know most people don't think about color temperature throughout their daily life, but I would bet that everyone is subconsciously aware of it and how it dictates certain moods. Lastly, the Backrooms are an example of a liminal space. Liminal spaces are an aesthetic defined as a location which is a transition between two other locations or states of being. They are usually abandoned or empty. Examples of this include subway stations or school hallways glowing in the summer with that specific amber hue. The Shining is a masterclass in liminal space. In fact, the set is even a character itself, which is certainly a characteristic of the Backrooms. I believe liminal spaces elicit a shared feeling of togetherness. On some level, everyone can relate to these pictures. It feels as if we've been there before. An eerie, dreamlike sequence, yet something is just off. Perhaps it's the absence of human activity contradicted by man-made objects in the frame. Or maybe it's the fear of the unknown or other, as we don't know what's beyond those doors or entrances. Combine all of these aspects together and you have yourself a terrifying environment to tell horror stories. Central to conventional horror stories is the fear of the other, a person, monster, or being that is inherently different or misunderstood. In the Backrooms, you don't want to make any noise in fear that the others will hear you, and when you're discovered, you have to run. Except, you're in the Backrooms, and there's nowhere to really run because you're stuck in a liminal labyrinth. And turning each corner, never knowing what you're going to see, is the element of surprise or jump scare. But all of this is just a story, right?